Three men with 3 decades of separation debate 3 tough choices every week. This is the Pick 3 Show. Welcome back to another episode of the Pick 3 Show, where 3 men with 3 decades of separation argue about their top 3 choices in respect of each week's chosen subject. Discussion, derision, and downright disbelief are frequently the outcomes of our discussions, but as we always say, there are no wrong choices, but we certainly know there are some bad opinions. Today we are talking tech, as the Pickmaster General has selected gadgets as this week's topic du jour. That's French, by the way, Andy. And so we have come down to Department Q in Gareth's home base, where a range of technicians wearing white coats are testing various clever pieces of kit. So thanks for getting us access today, Gareth.
Not a problem.
And also for telling Andy not to push the big red button.
Still time.
There is still time. So, morning, gentlemen. Welcome to this slightly unusual location that we've chosen today.
I think whenever we think gadgets, we all think James Bond.
Yeah.
So we do. You know, that was always one of my favourite parts of a James Bond movie. You saw Q who would go down there and he'd have all the different gadgets on, because you knew that these gadgets did exist in a real world and you always wanted them. Or the other thing for gadgets, and Martin, you might remember this better than Andy. Do you remember the stuff that you could send away for on the Bazooka Joes?
Oh, yes. Those various... There were a lot of strange little things that you could go...
Do you remember?
None of which ever worked.
No, exactly.
They were all garbage.
Including X-ray specs.
Oh, X-ray specs, so that you could see.
I'm sure you guys use those a lot.
Hey, it was the 70s.
They didn't exist type thing on it. So, I always love a gadget, and I'm a sucker for them.
Gadgets, as we sort of classify, it's such an open-ended thing. Loads of our listeners have put stuff in that I've never heard of that, but I'm now fascinated into what it is.
Well, that's the interesting side. This, of all the topics we have covered to date on the Pick 3 Show, this was one that caused me the most amount of difficulty, because I thought back to our best purchases under £100 and some of the things, and some of those are gadgets and things that we've used. And I went, right, well, we can't repeat any of those, because otherwise the listeners will just switch off in their hundreds of thousands. Well, that's maybe a slight exaggeration.
No, you're right. It hit 100,000 last week.
Yeah. Oh, did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was trying to think of what do I use regularly? For it to be a gadget, it's got to be something you use regularly, not something you use once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
I agree. And
it's got to be something that's useful.
That was mine, and a lot of people who messaged me, one guy in particular, I won't mention his name, was like, a meat thermometer was one of his, and then he went,
I've got one of them.
And he went, hold that.
Why does that not surprise me?
No, not me. I've got one of those from a friend who's put it in. Not me. I don't have a meat thermometer.
I didn't think so.
A barbecue's for burning stuff.
No, and then the same guy, 10 minutes later, so he was typing again on WhatsApp. He said, actually, forget that. I've used it once in 4 years.
I think that is absolutely the case. People have these things that they buy as one-offs. And we talked in a previous podcast as well about the little bits of kit that you bought at the Ideal Home Exhibition to slice onions incredibly, and all you do is lose the palm of your hand or whatever on them. I'm talking about gadgets or little pieces of tech that are regularly utilised and actually beneficial.
Yeah, agreed. I like that.
And it doesn't have to be tech. It can be hardware tech, things that just make life easy.
Yeah, I think
in fact, one of mine is.
Okay.
I did take the hardware tech. Now I've changed it slightly, and I wish I had gone wider in gadgets in my thoughts. But anyway, we'll get there. But like you, I wanted stuff that I use regularly.
Yeah.
Because there's so many gadgets that are tangled in wire in the tangled wire cupboard.
Well, yes, most men in particular have a box or a drawer of stuff they have bought at some point to do a certain particular job, and then it gets put in that drawer and never sees the light of day again.
Exactly.
It's also the place where, bizarrely, lots of people put dead batteries.
Yeah.
Why do you keep dead batteries, people?
I'll tell you a quick battery story. It was my son's last day in nursery yesterday, And we said, "Oh, get you a toy." We go to Smith's. Went to Smith's toy store, and he got this little game where it floats these balls, and there's a gun where you can shoot them off. 20 quid. 20 quid your budget. Go and spend whatever you want. Get Littell. Have you got batteries for that, sir? Oh no, we've got batteries at home. And she showed me the batteries. I was like, I don't think we've got ones of that. She's like, do you need those as well? I was like, yeah, just give me. So it was 20 quid. That was his offer. That'll be £32, please, sir.
Gee.
And at that moment, I was like, I'm not going to say I don't need these because I think I do need them.
Yeah.
I was 32, 12 quid for batteries.
So you talk about the gadget cupboard, right? Do you keep the boxes?
Oh.
Sometimes, yes.
Why? I do as well.
In case I'm
Why?
going to send it back.
But okay.
you never do.
If you're going to send it back, you do that within a week or two.
Yes.
Why do you still have a cupboard full of boxes?
Do you not think Apple changed that narrative though? You get your iPhone or your iPad in your box. You're like, look, it looks so good. I'm going to keep it there, because I might need to sell it in a couple of years.
Yeah,
and then you don't, and there's no need. Oh,
here he
Martin
goes.
is showing us an iPhone from the 1990s.
70s.
This was the most recent iPhone that arrived, and yes, you're talking about the box.
It's weird.
Why do you keep it? I have no idea. Just put it in the drawer.
Because you know that, and also one thing with the gadget hasn't made it on my list here, but mainly because of my large number of Amazon orders. I actually think I could work at home if I was an Amazon delivery man. So I was, but on my Amazon purchases. But I have bought a box cutter.
A box cutter. I've got.
I
It
looked
is
at that.
superb.
I looked at that online, and then I realised, yeah, but I have a pocket knife. Do you
This
not have a Swiss Army knife?
No. Martin, I was the football and the hammock.
Yeah.
So eventually you ended up with a Swiss Army knife.
No, I don't have it. Sorry.
I cut mine open with a machete. But
I was looking at one of those recently because
Brilliant.
if I get, like, say a Funko in one of those wee toys I collect, could be 100 quid. And actually the way it's packed, you take it out, you can damage that. It could be worth 60 quid after you take it out.
No, well, this is just the Amazon boxes to be able to fit it in your bin.
Yeah, it's come through.
Fantastic. Even with those sound effects.
Okay. Well, let's start, Gareth, with you. What is your number 3 gadget?
My number 3 one, right, which
He's laughing.
You're going to rip it, is my recent purchase in the last 12 months, of which I'm in 5 days a week, 4 days a week. And it is my sauna.
Yeah.
My infrared sauna. All it does, it's an infrared sauna that plugs into the plug, right? No water, no nothing. Sits in my little gym room.
What size is it for our listeners?
For size for it, it is probably 8 foot high by 4 foot wide. It's 2-man.
Okay.
And the reason why it's 2-man, and it's not great for him, but you can sort of sit with your feet up on it. Infrared sauna, no water attachments or anything, doesn't create condensation, anything. It is just pure infrared. Has a wee speaker in it, which you can Bluetooth your phone into, and you sit in it, and it gets up really hot, hotter than normal saunas, the steam saunas I have. And it is fantastic.
Have you learnt your optimum temperature?
No, the maximum temperature goes to 65 degrees. Then it stops.
65 Celsius?
Yeah. But it's super hot. And the reason why it's super hot is because it's infrared lamps. So, you know the feeling whenever the sun is on you full time, you're sitting out in the sun, compared to the difference whenever the sun goes behind the cloud.
Yeah.
It's still hot, but whenever this is radiating on you, it is super. The health benefits out of it are massive. And interestingly, there's the recent Noel Edmonds show that has been on. He's 76 years old, right? You want to see this man. He looks superb. And he credits one of the reasons down to his infrared sauna. Anyone I show it to when they come to the house, everyone I've shown it to, has taken a photograph and have gone away and done it. Chris Wall this morning, my friend Chris, or our friend Chris, he's saying, Gareth, what way does this arrive? He's online buying it now.
Do you
£1,500.
Do you think, I'd say in the last year, I've heard more people buying saunas than I have in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Is it that thing where people, because cold water therapy, huge a couple of years ago.
But the health benefits are saying that doesn't work.
And it goes through that cycle. I'm sitting thinking, anytime I come out of a sauna, I do feel I'll lie.
Oh, it is brilliant. As soon as I go exercise,
Because
straight
you're
into
no
it.
longer burning.
I know.
You come out and you go, oh, thank goodness, oxygen still exists in the world. That is, I'm
brilliant.
sorry. I get, and that's a call, and I'm not going to criticize you for your choice, but that's incorrect. That's not a gadget.
It is. I
how on earth-
checked.
You talked about one of the things is a box cutter. That's a gadget.
No, but it's you
sauna.
plug it in.
So,
But it's a room.
it's not a room. It's something that sits in my room
And
I
brings
plug it
that
in.
room all the way up to that temperature.
No. It's a capsule effect.
I think
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a capsule.
No, you said it's a room.
Well, sorry. I'd like to apologize for my description of your sauna capsule.
Okay, so if you had
2 people can fit in it.
yeah,
That's a room.
it's not a room.
the interesting thing about this, anyone I've asked for a gadget, they've come back and they've put things I've went, is that a gadget? I've just, anything goes with this. I think this works. You
It's
plug it
plugged
in.
in. Yeah.
You put a plug in it, it works. I think it's solid number 3.
I get
Thank
it.
you.
It's a product. It's honestly, I cannot
So
believe
how's a meat thermometer a gadget?
it's about $12.99.
I know, but you're going to price.
Oh, you got a price?
Your
sensitive?
price.
I'm pricing gadgets
Tight ass
don't.
hairs goes in price if it's
Gadgets aren't 1,500 of
I'm-
your pounds.
Well, then a Peloton bike is it a gadget?
No,
Yeah.
it's not a gadget. It's tech.
Okay, so is your iPad a gadget?
No, it's tech.
I'd say it's a gadget.
It's a gadget.
I think it's a gadget. If you Google,
So your phone's a gadget. So
It
you-
is.
No,
and people have come.
do you remember
these
the
are bits of tech.
the gadget show on Channel 5?
Yeah.
And if they had a show, it would show a sauna.
Yeah.
And they would be like, portable home sauna.
Okay, so what you're basically trying to argue is that I'm wrong
Yeah.
in my assessment.
Always.
Yeah.
And now,
Now, listeners, I want you in great numbers to send us your opinion with regard to
No.
whether or not a capsule that fits 2 people that goes up to 65 degrees centigrade and all the rest of it.
I'd be interested to see if
I
we
think
got a guest in. Would he argue the same back?
I listened to one of his other podcasts and his other show the other day, and I sent him a lovely message saying, Martin, I was great. You were a lot nicer to that guest than you were to Gareth. And he wrote back, I liked him.
I thought that was fair.
I thought it was good. But and the reason I'm also defending this is I'm looking at my 3 and he could rip apart these.
Wait to say is number 3, Andy.
What is your number 3, Andy? Before
As a quick leak, no. Number 3 is my Garmin scales.
Oh,
And he's looking at his
no, sorry, Garmin scales. Scales for what?
human body.
So these are scales, a set of scales
Set
for
scale.
weighing your physique.
yeah, and defining what muscle
Muscle mass, water capacity. Over like it gives me 100 different stats every
So what
morning.
is your capacity? Because every time you drink here, you go straight to my bathroom.
That's why I'm looking at my Garmin scales now.
Yeah.
The reason why Garmin scales are interesting, it was quite funny. It connects to my Garmin Connect app.
Yeah.
And anyone who's on Garmin knows you go in your Garmin Connect and you see every morning what your sleep was, your health scores. 100% that's a gadget, but I'm not putting that in. And then I go on my scales, get to weight. And then you look back 4 weeks, is there any correlation on weight changes up and down? 100% a gadget. Now, I had a funny one the other day. Johnny Bloomfield, Dr. Johnny Bloomfield, friend of Gareth and I, he has access to our health data. So he said the other day, sends me a message saying, it was a video message, mate, I've just reviewed your health data. There's a few telltale signs I think you should look at. And I was like,
Oh, God.
so I'm looking there going, I forget he looks at his all access to my weight fluctuations and everything. Now he starts with, look, your weight's fine, it's good this year. Oh, phew. I was tempted not to, he'd looked at the last 6 months, but he was talking about elevated stress in a couple of days, and I was like, I was flying that. But the Garmin Connect scales are, and it's quite an interest, I think they were 100 quid.
It's almost a gadget.
It could be almost 100 quid. But
And you can carry it in one hand.
you could carry it in one hand.
Again,
So
clear indication it's heading towards a gadget.
but they're the only scales that connect to Garmin Connect.
Yeah.
Do you have them as well?
Yeah, I haven't. They arrived just last week.
Oh, really? Excellent.
I had them before, but I got a new
There's a
set. So they are superb. And I love the connectivity of it.
I
And
have
the
I have a set of scales that we have had for 35 to 40 years. and they still measure my weight.
That's only because it tells you lies, Martin.
That's why he's kept them. After he has his
If you got on the Garmin scales, there might be a different reading coming out.
There'll be a different reading. There'll be an extra feature, Weetabix level.
Aye, exactly. And also, you have to stand with 2 feet on the Garmin one.
And not holding on to a
Hold on
handrail.
to a handrail, no.
Pulling up. Okay.
So number 3, Garmin scales.
I love it, Andy.
Excellent. Good work.
Lovely. Great gadget, Andy.
It was an excellent gadget.
All I can say, listeners, is these two never cease to surprise me.
This is
And I think that's good.
Got to go down to Desert Island.
It may or may not. So I went with a gadget.
All right.
A practical reality. And
Practical. He's got something practical, Andy. Well, that's not like him.
in fact,
What'd
I
you do?
brought it to show
To our listeners.
Here, Andy, give us the hammock now. I'll lie on it and fall asleep.
you. Got this recently. And my son bought me this. And this is a really nice little ratcheting screwdriver. Really, really good, magnetic and all the rest of it, with all the screw bits in the bottom of it. Now, I am more than happy for Andy to take a photograph of this and put it on our socials. And, you know, it is a very, very useful, because it means you have all the screw bits you need when you're up the ladder doing something. Whereas I know you would be
Are
in
you
the sauna.
regularly
Yes.
up the ladder 5 times a week?
Not 5 times a week, but not everything I need to use a screwdriver for is up a ladder anyway. But I'm saying, if you're up the ladder, you have all of your screw bits with you.
I thought you'd be doing, Debs, can you send me up there?
You could be, but the reality is, again, and I've said this before on the podcast, I'm from the generation, we used to do stuff ourselves. It's a bit like, you know, the electronic measurement of weight and all the rest of it, which is, and it goes to my Garmin watch and it sends it on to my physician. And my physician rings me up and said, Andy, I've noticed that you stood on the scales this week and your stress levels are elevated.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
And I'm going, I don't want that level of scrutiny.
Andy, I'm going to give you a pick 3 challenge and you'll be able to answer it very quickly. Tell me the most boring gadget that has ever been presented to the pick 3 show.
I was going to ask the question, if this was number 3, what didn't make it into his top?
God.
What did you consider?
It's a screwdriver. It's a screwdriver.
It's a really clever little gadget of a screwdriver that actually is useful to me.
But how often do you use that?
Minimum of once a week.
Doing what? What are you doing?
He goes and makes
I have
work
a
for
whole
himself.
pile of things to do with sound equipment and, you know, changing batteries.
But where are you up a
some of the
ladder
things.
with the sound equipment?
Various church-related things. if we'd like to try and pick on me for that reason, you know.
I know he said something we can't
Yeah,
argue
no,
with.
exactly. We have to do the old beep, beep, beep back out of that one.
I think it's a little harsh for you boys too. You know, a good sound engineer has a range of pieces of equipment, and it's a good little piece of tech.
All right. Well, listen, you definitely win the prize for
Oh,
most
it's a-
boring
Oh, it's a-
gadget.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh.
Who knows?
Can it get any
Who
worse than it
knows
can?
what else?
Right,
Yeah.
on to your second choice, Jay.
On to number 2, Andy, and then following on from your Garmin scales, my number 2 is my Garmin watch.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. From the morning report on how I slept and the detail in that to my evening report of all what I'd done during the day. This is the top gadget. All those Apple Watches and all that type of stuff, no way. Garmin gives you the data that you need. And actually, as our good friend Dr. Johnny Bloomfield was the person who got us on to it. I love it. It
Makes a
gives me
fortune from his referral business with Garmin.
He probably does, yeah.
It monitors all the things I need. It does.
Does it have a
my
motion sensor?
emotion?
A motion.
A motion sensor. I thought you were looking for an emotion sensor. There's a be old beep. If it had that for you.
Does it have a? Does it?
It's like when I put my old Apple Watch on my dad and did the heart ECG thing, it said, contact your GP straight
Aye,
away. It would do that
exactly.
on Martin, contact your GP, lack of emotion.
Aye.
So, does it have a motion
Yes.
sensor? So when you go to the bathroom, it tells you you're about to do a motion.
No, that's disgusting. Anyway, back on it. Gives me calories burned, my VO2 max, which is a very important stat for
Longevity.
us as we go. Longevity, as Peter Attia wrote in the book, that art of longevity tells you my sleep. But the best part of this gadget is the
Yellow strap.
Which looks good.
Yeah,
It's
a nice
really
flash.
stylish
Looks
looking.
good.
Mine's a
The
black one.
best part of this gadget is the heart rate variability measurement.
Yeah,
your
HRV.
HRV. This can predict if I've overdone it or if I'm going to get sick. And I know then to calm it down, the exercise or whatever. This could probably, and like I'm prone to an old cold sore, this will predict when I'm going to get a cold sore that I need to step off it. It's thing. I know you can't believe that.
He's waiting.
It is good fun. But the HRV measurement is probably the best measurement that something can do to help me manage going forward.
I'd also add about the Garmin, for anyone who plays golf, yardages on your wrist every time, really good.
Calories burned.
You'd love that.
Means how many Kit Kats you can eat after exercise.
How many Kit Kats can you eat after
Well,
exercise?
it depends how many calories you burn.
So what is...
Isn't a 2-finger Kit Kat 108 calories?
Yeah, about that, just over 100.
Okay, and how many calories do you tend to burn in a
pickleball,
frenetic pickleball match?
1,000 in 2 hours.
1,000 calories in 2 hours?
1,100 in 2 hours.
Oh, it's 10% higher even than you thought.
Yeah.
Because initially you said 1,000, now it's 1,100.
Roughly.
Can you imagine working for Martin years ago?
Nightmare.
I think
no wonder Debs doesn't want to do the how to make the optimization of the marriage big chat. Why don't you just do it all day? We only have to do it 2 hours.
Oh, you know, it's like when he was with that guest the other day. It was like a different side to him. Oh, that's really
He's
interesting.
nice and all that.
The guy arrived with facts and figures. I liked him. It made sense.
I think we're the only two people who know the real Martin.
I think that would be accurate. I think there would be a lot of...
You are the only two people still alive who understand the real Martin. Just so that we're quite clear.
Brilliant.
But anyway, okay, so your Garmin watch is a gadget. It's borderline a gadget. I'm going to give you that one. Whereas I'm still struggling with the 2-person hot capsule.
Definitely works.
Yep, good.
Andy?
Number 2, really simple one. I use it all the time. Portable phone charger. MagSafe, our friend Johnny carries it.
That came up a few times.
Joe, I'll give you a real world example. Wednesday morning, flying over Newcastle upon Tyne.
He is ripping, by the way, Martin.
Oh, there's something coming.
Look, he is actually.
I'm not even going to look at him.
I can see steam coming out of his eyes.
Steam coming out of my eyes.
Ears.
Hey, one of his oldest friends, Johnny Kerr, had that as his number 1.
Yeah.
So,
Interestingly, if you get all the way up to 65 degrees, steam will come out of your eyes.
So flying to Newcastle, 6 a.m. flight, Wednesday, have my phone there, connecting to my laptop, doing some work. Now, most regular people get through one day with one phone charge I did the night before, but by about 5 o'clock, phone battery dropped to 20%. I was flying back at 7 o'clock, sorry. I was like, highly likely if I don't have this phone charger, I won't actually make the flight. Don't have my passes on it.
Yeah.
Nothing printed out. You would print out passes, Martin, wouldn't you, before you go to an airport?
He'd have them in
laminated.
We laminated
Yeah.
all, so he would.
Whereas
we a paper folder as well. He'd have.
So
Do you know, there are people that are listening to this podcast that are saying, those two youngsters are correct. Older people like a piece of paper that is there in case you need it.
Yeah.
so
Technology doesn't always work.
a quick aside about that flight. So, had my wallets on my passenger seat, got out of my car at Belfast. Most EasyJet flights, they sort of won't ask for ID of any description, but I had my wallet with me, my driving license, no problem. Flying back Newcastle that night, the lady was asking, can I have ID? Everyone show ID. Guy in front of me was taking ages, so I just went round the other way, and the lady was like, ID. I was like, oh yeah, it's here somewhere. And even before I could get it out, she was like, oh, just on the next one. So I just walked past her. I got back into my car that night, put my wallet in my passenger seat, and my driving license had fell out and it was on the ground. So I actually no ID. I think I was only person that actually walked through without showing ID. That was bizarre. Now Martin will probably say there's other ways you can find. You
or
could
breach of airline regulations or something.
But that's not the actual gadget you're talking about. That's a story to...
That's a great story. Just felt like...
No. It's a lovely story, and I've enjoyed it greatly. But the gadget is your phone charger.
Portable phone charger. It's like 15 quid. You put it to the back. Now, I read online.
He's ready for something.
He's ready. Conor Macaulay, a friend of ours, posted last week on LinkedIn. He was in office recently and he seen a portable phone charger it burst into flames.
Ooh.
And he said they had to have a fire alarm, sprayed it down, and people were coming, which make? And he was like, just a portable one, 15 quid of Amazon. I was like, probably the same one
Exactly.
I got. So health risk.
So, and how many times will it recharge your phone?
One charge of it can do the phone twice.
Okay, so twice.
Yep.
Which would be the way you could say it. It'll charge it twice. Which would have been a much clearer way to describe what you're talking about.
But it does
He's in that I'll pernickety mood at the moment. He's ripping at the sauna. The sauna has set him off. Oh, look.
That is my one.
And you have to link that on with a wire.
That gets charged and goes away. And that is 10.
How many people carry that?
10 recharges of your phone.
Would you call that portable?
I would say that would be
Well, because I'm quite strong, yes.
Do you know what? If you got on a Ryanair
And
flight
you can
with
charge
that,
two.
Excessive suitcases for that.
Exactly. You'd be paying the excessive
85
luggage.
quid. Is that your number 2, Martin?
It isn't. It isn't my number 2, but I actually think your choice is a very valid choice. As a gadget, I looked at those and I thought about, can you talk about portable battery power in effect as a gadget? Because in the old days, what you'd have had was you'd have opened up a flat and you'd replaced it with 2 new batteries.
Yeah.
And so, but these sort of portable power banks are very, very useful. And I'm certainly, if I am away or anywhere, it is nice to know that you actually have one of those, especially if you're out all day. And that will charge both mine and my wife's phone several times through. Yeah. And you can plug it in and have it in your backpack. And it just continues to work away until you need your phone again. So actually,
you must use your phone a lot.
Not
he hates me saying that. He hates me out there, doesn't he?
More than I used to, and then I use it quite frequently also as a camera.
Yeah,
for quick camera stuff. Albeit, I do like proper cameras for stuff that I do. But
another quick one about my portable charger. I would charge my AirPods and my Garmin on. So I would link the Garmin up through the strap there onto that without putting in the plug.
Right. Well, you see, that's the thing. That will link to my AirPods. It'll link to my Bose headphones. It'll link to my...
Bose headphones, yeah, of course.
I'm a sound man. Of course. What do you want from me? I'm not going to have...
Rich kid.
No sauna in my house. But anyway.
On the Martin's number two,
I'm
looking around to see if there's any hammers or saws.
There's a cup there. Who knows? That could be next.
I really, really struggled on this. And, I wanted a piece of tech and a gadget that would be very useful. And I thought, I found the perfect thing for our particular endeavours that we've had together.
Yes.
And so I looked at the Bright Blaze plasma lighter that can't be beaten by rain, snow, wind, or cold. It's a butane-powered lighter that will set fire to anything, but most important, has just won the best tactical gadget of 2025.
We're not on a desert island.
We might be. We've had that experience previously. But I thought, this thing is insane.
When do you use that?
I haven't yet bought it.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is why it's a dubious one as to whether it should make it onto my list.
Our listeners are going to love this.
If we had done that, he'd be all over us, wouldn't he?
Do you think Martin's a closet smoker?
Aye.
No.
Cigars?
Regal King side?
But it does over 300 on one butane charge into it. And then it runs it with, it doesn't have a flint or anything else like lighters or anything else.
Yeah.
It has a very powerful plasma style light that sets fire to stuff by using the butane. And it is insanely good.
He's very excited.
300 lighting opportunities with it, as in before you need to recharge it.
I'm so sorry, but whenever you recharge it, is that putting new butane in it?
Yes.
Okay, so just to bring the gadget
It's a gadget.
£1, Poundland.
Three for a fiver
in Castle Court.
No, but it's the power of this thing.
But what power do you need
This
to
thing,
light?
if you put this behind a grifter, you could actually power it up the hill. It's like a mini jet engine.
All joking aside, what is so powerful about it? What do you need the power for?
You need nothing else to fire up. You could just put a log on the fire, use this thing, and within a few seconds, you'll be up and running.
No way. It wouldn't light a log.
Well, it says it will.
What I have to say,
can't wait until he buys that.
I'm actually fascinated by this.
So am I.
And I used to, as a kid, I never smoked, but I used to have 2 or 3 Zippo lighters.
Oh, Zippos were just because you could flick them over
into the wind, but I just lighting that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was
was
just
cool.
for chat up lines.
Oh, look at
It was cool. Zippo lighters were the coolest lighters.
Oh, what a great brand.
They were in all of the movies, and there was a flick.
But it's 3 non-smokers. What are we talking about Zippo lighters about?
But I wasn't. I'm talking about Desert Island Survival, because although I will have the magnesium fire starter, which we've already talked about, this is to make life even easier. And what if?
I don't know if I can light a log.
I'd be interested to see Martin do it.
So I.
That's a video we can get.
Yeah, definitely.
To our listener. That's a good.
Okay, well, let him off that there. He doesn't own it.
By the
he
way,
doesn't use it.
What do you think price-wise? What do you think they are?
Ooh.
20 quid.
No, they're $110.
Jeez, Martin.
My word.
I know.
God. Right.
But it looks good.
I know, but I'm not for me.
Well, so sorry, it's okay to have a 2-person capsule in your room that gets up to 65 degrees centigrade.
You could light yourself with that lighter.
But I think this is a great one to accept for Martin, because it sets a lovely precedent for our pick 3. We don't have to own the
You don't have
things.
to own it. You have to just read about it.
So we can say the best cars we've ever owned.
Yeah.
No, well, you see,
buy that.
we specified on that particular subject. This was gadgets. And gadgets, when you actually start looking at it, is I brought an analog gadget screwdriver in with all the various bits, and I got derided for actually picking something as dull as a screwdriver.
Yeah.
So I pick
Now you've got a lighter, which is dull.
an electronic lighter that is hotter than the sun.
Where do you see your gadgets? Because is it Reader's Digest? Do you get a subscription or something?
No, but they used to be fantastic.
He gets a telegram sent every week.
Look, here comes the pigeon in with your gadgets here.
The thing is, those were the ones that in those days there were no photographs of them. They were drawings.
Yeah.
They were drawings. One size fits all.
Yeah.
Billy Connolly used to do a great routine about the giant slipper.
Oh, that was brilliant.
And the big giant slipper. The giant slipper is ones that you would actually put, both your feet into when you were sitting there at night, so keep you nice and warm. But the giant slipper, he said, but the way to scare off burglars was to buy 2 of them and leave them by the front door, and the burglar would break in and go, whoa, some big bloke lives around here. I'm out of here.
That's quite good, actually.
Okay, my number 1, it has to be my iPad.
Oh.
It is, it goes everywhere with me. I absolutely love it.
Can it light fires on the desert island?
No, but it can keep me entertained. It goes everywhere with me. I use it in work, mental ability games. I have my Peloton app to do my stretches every morning on it. I love the research for our podcast that we do.
You're claiming you do research.
I do sometimes. And I really find it would be hard to do without it. My iPad. I love it that much. I love reading, I use it as a Kindle. And if you said as gadget is, you use it a lot of time. Not that you've applied that, Martin. I do.
I would
use my iPad a lot.
Do you think, and an iPad's a great one.
I think it's tech.
What is tech is gadget?
My number 1 is in that camp, so I'm going to agree with it. I think it's one that.
Sorry, Andy, hang on 1 second. I'm getting a message.
Oh wait, listen. Your message.
Pickmaster. Yeah, I know they're wrong, but what can I do? They're ganging up on me.
He's on the other phone here to me, and he's like saying, "You have to actually own it, not read about it."
For my number 1, I googled it because I knew he would go. Is this a gadget that appeared in all these lists? Best gadgets of 2018, 19, 20. iPad was in there beside them.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and do you know what? iPad's one of those things you don't realize how much you need it or use it till you don't have it.
Yeah,
that's a good choice. Do you use one?
Yes, I call it tech. I don't call it a gadget. I call it tech.
That's it.
But it is absolutely brilliant for certainly being away. One of the things we discovered a number of years ago that it was absolutely brilliant for is being able to watch TV programs and various things when you're overseas, particularly Apple related products, because they will seem to download. Whereas if you've got Sky Go or something else, you've got to find a way of opening up the VPN in the certain. Whereas with Apple, you didn't, so you can pick up your Apple shows and various things when you're away. It's really good. It's also when you get somewhere and you do need to send email or anything else. Yes, I wouldn't carry a laptop. No. I would only carry when I'm traveling my.
I very rarely use my laptop, and mostly use this.
Yeah. Well, the laptop is much harder. There are more keys for you to hit. You can write that in your. Don't you use an electronic pencil?
Yeah, I love it.
See, that's a gadget.
Yeah, but it still works on my iPad.
It does, but you could have linked the two and made it sound like
I was about to, and then you interrupted me. And
electronic pencil as part of it.
I still remember the iPad was first launched. People thought it was a terrible idea.
I know.
And it wouldn't work. And Steve Jobs, when he was up, was talking about how I want a 1-year-old to use this as much as a 30-year-old. And I remember thinking, that'll never work. I look at Jake when he was 1 on an iPad, the wee games you could play. I was like, that's incredible. He's true. So, yeah, it's a good choice.
Number 1, Andy?
Number 1, Nintendo Switch. Oh, what a choice.
Do you have it?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you why I've got it. So, Nintendo Switch, for our listeners, video game console. As a kid, I used to play video games all the time. And then for about 20 years, didn't play anything. A lot of friends of mine would come home at night. They get the TV and they put the PlayStation on or Microsoft Xbox, whatever it is. And about 6-7 years ago, Nicole got me a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. And I was sort of a bit blasé on maybe use it, maybe not. Mario Kart, Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. Every night for years, I'll put it on for half an hour. And I never linked up the TV, just on the handheld.
Yeah.
So played it for years, and then about 6 months ago, Nintendo sort of bring out a Switch 2. I was like, I don't need that. I've already got the Switch 1, Switch 2, bigger screen, bigger interface, better. The day it was launched, complete FOMO. Didn't get one. 2 days later, I was like, right, I'm going to get one. 450 quid or whatever it was. But still, if I want half an hour just to switch off, which isn't phone, anything, fire that on. Brilliant. Anyone who I have told, sort of my age, who've been brought up in the video game world about it, at least 3 people in the last few weeks I've told together, like, really? They've all said to me, this is fantastic.
Right.
It's not TV, it's not your phone, it's just another way of pure nostalgia.
Do you think this links back as well to your first job as a builder? And that's what brought you to Mario, who's a plumber.
I think
and
it could do.
In that whole Nintendo thing.
I think that could very well be more. But I think my simplest bit, if it was something I had to plug up the TV and make the effort of having to go and then say that wouldn't do it.
On.
You love, as much as I do, a good app on your phone that's a game or something you play. Yeah. The Switch takes it to the next level.
And what games are you playing on it?
Zelda's the one I'm playing at the moment. Open world, going around, fighting monsters. No, Martin would absolutely love it. Orcs and stuff.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, I suspect Zelda, and there'll be no orcs because that's a branded property from J.R. Tolkien.
It's actually orcs a brand? As in like an
IP? I'm presuming it'll be an IP linked within that.
That's interesting. I learned something today. I can't be using
orcs. I would have assumed you. No, and it's a bit like why originally whales had to change their name to orcas, because they weren't allowed to be called orcs anymore. But
for the listeners, that is not true. That is not true.
But
right, give us the number 1.
Our listeners are
you have bored us to death.
Do you know what? If anything, I would say our listeners have listened to this one more than any, just to see what his number 1 is.
I actually think this defines his character the most. He's given glimpses of it with the Desert Island. He gave even further glimpses of it with the books, right? And his films. Let's hear what number 1 is.
Let's go.
Well, there are a number of things just to finish up with Andy for the Nintendo Switch. And it is a games console, and I accept that it's a very, very good games console. Again, I keep coming back to these things generally they're not what I call gadgets. Gadgets are something you use as far as possible every day or for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our listeners would say separate.
Many of our listeners will, but I'll be intrigued to see what the listeners have said in listener feedback.
I'll be interested to see if they think a screwdriver is a gadget.
I would say it's closer than a 2-person capsule that warms up to 65 degrees.
Some of our listeners are crying out to get the listener feedback already.
True.
So anyway, again, I cannot believe I'm the one they call posh on this podcast.
Oh no!
When I don't have the 2-person sauna capsule. But anyway, this was actually, as I said, I find this topic incredibly difficult. And a couple of the things that I considered but didn't make it onto my list was my GoPro camera, which is phenomenal piece of kit
Give them the stuff
for going places where I like to go, or adventures that I like to have. It's a brilliant camera to take with me. But
would you have bought shares in GoPro a few years ago?
No, GoPro were on the borderline of going bankrupt at a point in time.
Funny, I sent Gareth a message this morning. 99% of the share value wiped out in 6 years.
Yeah, it is because other companies started to catch up, and they didn't innovate at the time. But the GoPro is the standard.
Yeah.
I've had various cameras for various uses, but I decided not to put that in. Then I also looked at the Photo Stick Omni, which is a connection for downloading and make sure you don't lose your photographs. It's amazing how many people are suddenly losing. You know, you think it's cloud-based, you think it's this, and suddenly you either forget to pay your subscription, all the rest of it, and all these things disappear. It hasn't been purchased, it's only been subscribed for.
Yeah.
And suddenly you lose those sort of things.
I put that on a disk drive.
Yeah.
But, well, you see, I do as well. I put them onto hard drives and everything. But this is one for a complete backup, mainly geared to your phone. But that isn't what I decided on. What I decided on is something I use absolutely every day. And that is my Ridge wallet, which is RFID protected, holds up to about 10 cards, takes up far less room in your pocket, and more importantly, it can sit in your front pocket as opposed to maybe in your back pocket, making it slightly harder to nuck. And it's just a very, very simple little gadget that protects your cards.
Can I just help you on something? And maybe it's just that decade that you're in compared to the decade it is. They now have this thing called Apple Pay, and you can put your cards on your phone.
Apparently, the increase in digital fraud and theft is going through the roof.
Well, how is that different to holding it on your phone or holding it on that?
Because that's in my pocket. And it's not held in the cloud and not held on some set of code. You see, I am not convinced that the digital revolution is potentially as valuable as people think it is. I get all its positive uses, but white-collar crime and criminality is going through the roof. And for somebody that looks to actually comes up from a generation where you used to have to pay hard cash over for stuff, looking after your money is a very important thing.
Just whenever you're...
Just to let you know, I have bought at least 4 or 5 of these to give to friends, and not a single one of my friends...
I said thank you.
Not a single one of them has said they don't use it because they've all actually got used to using it.
Because they live in fear and saying to you that they don't use it.
I don't pat them down every time they walk in the house.
And to our listeners, so they can visualise this a bit, Martin lifted out a wallet. Imagine a house brick. That's the amount of £50 notes that are in this wallet. I've never seen anything like it. Colin McCamley listening will be like, yeah, that's our Martin. About 10 grand in 50s.
To be fair, an awful lot of my money is tied up in land.
So, Andy,
for you regular listeners who get that gag,
Andy, just whenever we were doing the marketing of this podcast, wherever we've now entered into a new niche of old people's homes. So I have, where I think this would
top
be
3 old people's homes. That's a subject coming up.
Our listeners is a wallet a gadget?
Oh,
it has some technology. It's RFID protected,
yeah, sort of
so that again, from that point of view, I think it is a gadget.
Martin, how many times have you heard of people being scammed by the RFID or whatever RSPB thing that you have?
The RSPB, yeah. Those. I'm telling you, those bird watchers are a nightmare. I don't know, but I've taken precautions to prevent it.
I know you have, but when has it ever happened?
My personal experience was in Barcelona when my wallet was stolen.
Horrible place. Horrible place.
They could, but it's much easier if you've also got a zipped pocket inside your trousers.
Zip's a gadget.
So they can't RFID it, and they can't get access
your cargo
to it.
shorts on.
Oh,
so the reality is, look, we had to select gadgets that are of use. I find all 3 gadgets that I have selected are useful for me. Now my only risk was selecting a gadget I don't yet own.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's go on to listeners who tell you that.
Paul McCoubry messaged in to say, these are quite interesting. He has put a whisper flow for dictating, a game changer.
Okay.
He's also put a Dana lock, a keyless front door.
Oh, well, presumably that's either some sort of card or some sort of code.
Thumbprint.
I actually thought it sounded great. And then his third
So
one.
what's his first one, sorry?
It was whisper flow. Whisper spelled WHISPR. It's for dictating.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's
I think Gareth was a bit worried that he hadn't got one of those in his
bathroom.
And then third was his electric blinds. So very automated stuff from Paul.
Like
Okay, that's borderline a gadget.
like your screwdriver.
A screwdriver's an actual useful piece of kit. And Andy will post the photograph. I bet you any money a lot of listeners will come back going, that's a fantastic looking screwdriver. I've got one of those.
We've got Paddy sent in AirPods, his Fitbit watch, and he was the one that said his Bluetooth barbecue thermometer, cooks brisket to perfection every time. Full disclosure, I've cooked brisket once. It was slightly overdone.
Brilliant.
And Paddy was a chef as well. Jay, if you want to read.
Okay, Michal McCardle, listener, top 3 gadgets. Number 3, built-in vacuum cleaner. No need to carry Hoover up and down the stairs. A secret vent in the kitchen built into the kicker board. Pure magic.
That's a good idea.
Number 2, digital photo frame. All the family connect to it via an app. Our memories on display. And number 1, robot lawnmower. Life is too short to spend hours every week cutting the lawn. I like that.
Let's just stop with the robot lawnmower for a minute. I think those are serious bits of kit, but have you ever seen a lawn that they're on that looks like anything's getting cut?
No,
the wee robot just rolls around.
But that's the point.
Just nicks a wee bit off the top. Just takes it a wee bit off.
Because then it doesn't have to collect it. And
yes, but what if you want your lawn nice and tight?
No. But, but do you know what the thing
pay
is?
Someone for it.
Martin, do you not have a mulcher in your lawnmower? Because if you cut the grass and put it back onto the lawn, you've natural fertilizer.
I will take that.
Oh, that's...
I don't empty the lawnmower.
Do you have a ride-on
No,
lawnmower?
I don't need that there. But I've got an electric lawnmower. And not plug-in electric, electric battery. And what I do is I've got a mulcher in it, and I just go along, and the mulcher does, it throws the grass up and then throws it back down
and you
onto the
spit
blades.
it back out of your mouth and onto the ground?
No, that's the cow. But so therefore, natural fertilizer.
That's good. Yeah,
that's what the robot lawnmowers. That's why they go all the time, because they only want to get little bits.
And then they go back to their station, have a wee rest, and then go again.
And you don't get grass on your feet then in the wet.
That's good.
Okay.
He loves it. Yes, Michael McErlane, meat thermometer for cooking. He loves a barbecue. Sonos Move speaker.
Yeah, they're very, very good quality speakers.
Yeah, he's always into the sound. And then
do you know what you can't use them for, though?
What?
Under no circumstances. Do you see if you put them in a wee gym room, it won't warm the gym room up at all?
No, but it will go into the sauna. You can take it into the sauna with you. Anyway, and his number 1, Motocaddy GPS electric golf trolley.
That's interesting. Ron Massey saying his laser rangefinder, his Jabra speaker, JBRA.
It's another version, another good make.
AirPods was number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Pete messaged, and these are 3 really good ones, I think. He's messaged in a toasty and panini maker in 1 interchangeable heat plates, also trebles as a waffle maker. And then he says his granny has a wee device that's plugged into a socket in her kitchen and lets her know how much oil she has in her tank.
Yes, I used to have one of those.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of that.
Oh, they're
Watchman.
Yeah, it's Watchman.
And then his number 1's Whoop. He loves Whoop more than Garmin.
Does he?
He says Whoop is incredible. A few more here.
Gav Noble says iPhone, which is the ultimate gadget.
Well, actually, today's task wasn't the ultimate gadget. It's your top 3 gadgets.
Yeah, but most used. We all use it.
John Donaldson, iPhone, Google Maps, and Robot Hoover. He had the Robot Hoover in his gadgets.
They're a wee bit overrated. They do get catching things and stuff like that.
I don't fancy one of those at all.
John Gawkins sent in electric was his favourite gadget. Johnny Kerr, MagSafe phone charger, total lifesaver in brackets. So we were out with Johnny last week. He spends a lot of time
MagSafe is very much one of these power banks. Yeah.
Google Home. Johnny's number 2.
What's Google Home?
You can connect everything to it. Light appliances, all controlled remotely.
Really?
Yeah. So, and then...
Sounds like a catastrophic disaster waiting to happen.
And his number 3 was Apple CarPlay. Yeah. And then his 4th, which was borderline, was a 20-pound carving knife. Sounds very 80s, but makes a Sunday roast a doddle.
I'm surprised Martin didn't have the hostess trolley.
Do you know what? At a point in time, that was
the ultimate gadget.
Tech. Top tech was a hostess trolley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never used.
No.
Never used.
Everyone used a couple of times a year. Christmas. It was always there for the vegetables at Christmas.
And you were using it because you had to get use of the gadget.
Yeah.
It weren't using it for convenience.
No.
So,
but really interesting. So listeners, a lot of phone-related ones and
Yeah.
stuff, which aren't a huge surprise.
I don't think it is, because I think people have become very limited as to what they can do themselves. Whereas
Yeah.
I think, having your own tools to actually fix stuff is still something that interests. I mean, there was a point in time where I could have claimed that the best bit of kit I had, because of the way we used to have to make up leads and various things for band equipment and all the rest of it, would have been my soldering iron, where you used to actually connect things and solder them yourself. But now everything, is just disposable.
Yeah, true.
And, it's a bit like, TVs. If something goes wrong with your TV, now you look at it,
Yeah.
you'll leave it, and then you'll turn it on again. If it doesn't work the second time, you'll go and replace it.
Yeah.
You won't know anybody to ring up who might come out and fix it.
No,
I spent
It's a throwaway.
£4 a month I spend in Curry's, and it's one of those as an insurance. And I think I said before, I looked at it. It was one of those ones with when at the till, the old way you go, you buy this TV. Every time they tried to sell me something, I'd be like, nope. And the guy said brightly, we had Jake there beside us. He was one. He said, look, if he was to throw something on his TV today, we'd come back and replace it. I was like, no problem. Yes, how much a month sorted? So there's ones like that. I'm thinking exactly a TV.
Yeah. So stuff like that, stuff you used to be able to fix.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the car episode at a point in time. You used to be able to fix things in your car.
Yeah.
Now you take it down to the garage and they'll plug in and go, oh yeah, we'll run diagnostics on it.
Yeah.
Most people can't do anything. So I'm a great believer that gadgets should be things that help you physically do things.
always say that.
You are obviously very much, your quest to live forever, Gareth, is doomed.
I want to live forever.
Doomed to fail. But, well, it just is. It may take a while, but it's doomed to fail based on all normal science.
Quite quick, give him that there.
He jumped into that.
But anyway, listeners, as ever, we have wittered on about our top choices. There are no right choices and there are no wrong choices. They are just all personal. You will all come up with your own lists, and we do very much enjoy hearing what you suggest to us. But as I say, today has taught me many things about my colleagues. One, that they are tech-based. Two, that they are tech-based. And three, well, they're basically tech-based. Whereas me, I still can do some stuff myself. But we will be back producing, which is something I do, the podcast going forward. And they will participate as ever. So until we're back with another episode, on behalf of the podcast, my name is Martin.
My name is Gareth.
My name's Andy.
And as we said in a previous episode, if you listen to this to help you fall asleep, night, night, listeners.